Bill Cairns, thanks. Now to the sex abuse scandal at Penn State. Jerry Sandusky, the school's former defensive football coach, faces a trial on charges of abusing young boys who he met through his 2nd Mile charity. NBC News has obtained exclusive new details showing warnings about Sandusky more than a decade ago. Our national investigative correspondent Michael Isikoff reports.
Services that this was behavior that was consistent with a predator, a male predator, a pedophile.
Psychologist Dr. Alicia Chambers warned Penn State Police 14 years ago that Jerry Sandusky's behavior fit a likely pedophile's pattern. NBC News has obtained the 1998 Penn State University internal police files investigating Sandusky for showering naked and bear-hugging an 11-year-old boy in a campus locker room.
You thought this was sexual abuse?
I do.
The boy was Chambers' client, who she interviewed the day after the incident. He is now known as Victim 6, one of 10 allegedly molested by Sandusky, who denies all charges.
I wish you could see the precious little face and the tiny little boy that appeared before me.
Speaking for the first time with the family's permission, Chambers reveals disturbing new details.
After they finished lifting weights and they were sitting, I was told that Mr. Sandusky kissed him on the head and said, "I love you."
Chambers wrote a report for police highlighting the gravity of the incidents.
I was worried that this is typical of grooming behavior.
But a second psychologist brought in by authorities and who never read Chambers' report concluded there was no evidence of a sexual offense, a finding that Sandusky's lawyer hopes to use in his defense. That psychologist told police he hasn't heard of a 52-year-old man becoming a pedophile. During the investigation, Penn State Police hid in a bedroom and listened in as the boy's mother confronted Sandusky. "Mom, did your private parts touch when you bear-hugged him?" Sandusky: "I don't think so. Maybe." "Mom, have you done this with other boys?" Sandusky: "Yes." And moments later, "I wish I could get forgiveness. I wish I were dead."
It is very disturbing.
We showed the Penn State Police file to Walter Cohen, a former Pennsylvania Attorney General.
It never should have been ignored.
Cohen says Sandusky should have been placed on a statewide registry of suspected child abusers.
Jerry Sandusky should have been on a watch list. But instead, the case was closed.
And Chambers' warning, included in Penn State Police files, went unheeded. School officials declined to comment due to pending investigations. But Chambers says she was stunned last year when police recontacted her before prosecutors charged Sandusky with more than 50 counts of child sex abuse.
I was horrified to know that there were so many other innocent boys who had been subject to this, who had had their hearts and minds confused, their bodies violated. It's unspeakable.
For today, Michael Isikoff, NBC News, Washington.
It's now 20 minutes after the hour. Once again, here's Amy.